Going on an internship with backend development, but I feel I could do better. Any tips on how to organize my studies? That is too. That is a very broad question. I feel like I could do better. Any tips on how to organize my studies? The best thing you can do about doing an internship for backend development is just study the backend that you are working with on your internship. You could do all. There's way too much stuff you can go and study. But if you are doing Node.js on the backend, I'm working with C#, but I feel like I don't write good code at all. Writing good code is practice. So you are an internship, you're probably, you're either you came out of bootcamp school, or you came out of college, or maybe you're just self-taught. Like all other things, writing good code comes with experience and feedback, and taking what someone's told you to heart and applying that to the next time you write code. But writing code is no different than doing any sort of other craft or speaking another language. It takes practice. What I would suggest you can do is, if you're looking to craft better code, is there's probably a lot of guides on C# in terms of best practices. Look up C#. Like every language has best practices. Look up articles on C# best practices and study those. Sometimes the company you work for could also have best practices in terms of what they determine, like how you should implement certain classes, functions. I don't do C#, so, but or just talk to, you're doing an internship, so that means they know that you're a novice. So talk to your fellow developers that are helping you through the internship and ask them. It's like, hey, I really, I want to get better. Like you guys are giving me a lot of feedback. I want to get better. Is there resources I can go to, or can you point me to any articles or anything like that that can help me learn more, outside of work, and just talk to them. The one mistake you are doing an internship to learn. That's why you are there. So they expect you to ask questions. So you're doing yourself a disservice at that internship if you are not asking questions in order to improve yourself. That's because that's the whole point of the internship, to learn. You're not doing an internship just to produce code. You're there to learn, and they're there for them to help you learn. So go look up best practices on C#. Try to look up stuff that you are currently implementing to see how others have done it, or guides on how they've done it. And just ask the people you're working with at your internship. It's as simple as that. Don't worry about sounding dumb about asking for help. Yeah, that's the one thing. Just remember, you're there to learn. Internship, you're there to learn. They're there to help you. They took you on. They know that you're a novice. They want to give you experience. They want to show you what it's like to work in the industry. So ask away with the questions. And it's awesome you have an internship, by the way. So take full advantage of it. It's so hard. So the best thing you can learn and get in the habit too, because it's the most difficult thing for any new developer, is to ask for help and ask questions. It's the hardest thing to do. I mean, sometimes I still have problems asking for help or questions, because you're just so stubborn and you just want to solve the problem or try to do it. But when at that but when you're early on, struggling is a detriment. Yeah, that's natural. It is 100% to be expected to have anxiety, to be self-deprecating, to ask questions. That's why like you just have to like it's just one of the things like you just have to kind of like power through it and remember I don't like it's all the power of mentality of like self-reflection. If you tell yourself that I'm dumb enough times, you start to believe it. So you have to avoid saying that you're not dumb, you're not you don't know it, I don't know anything, stuff. That what you have to do is you have to flip it and be like, I am inexperienced, I don't know a lot because I haven't done a lot. But these people, they've seen a lot. They have they're they've seen a lot, man. They've seen a lot. They've seen the war zone. So you need to be able to remember that and just ask them. And like Ivan said right there, yes, they expect you to ask questions. So ask questions.